Thank you, family, for tuning in to Living Your Life Without Limits today, a show about motivation, inspiration, and elevation. My name is Shannon Jackson, your resident host, the People's Nurse, and today we're talking about, is your cup empty? Stay tuned.
Wake up, everybody, let's elevate your mind. Live your life without limits, no more wasting time. Don't forget.
Once again, thank you for tuning in today, family. And before we go any further, make sure you click the subscribe button and like, and don't forget to leave a comment at the end if you enjoyed today's topic. Now, today we're discussing, is your cup empty? So I actually brought a cup to illustrate that. It's my cup, the People's Nurse cup. But if we want to be honest, many times we do run empty. And what I'm talking about, mentally tapped out. No energy, no emotion, we're tired, we're drained. We just have nothing else to go. No give, no get up, no drive. And it's difficult sometimes for us to say that, especially when everybody's expecting us to be up and pumped up and motivated. Well, let me tell you, everybody runs empty from time to time. So I want to first let you know it's okay. But the key is we don't want you to stay there. So what I want to talk about today is giving you some empowering points when those times come to help you get out of it. And the first one is acknowledge it. Simple as that. Because you can't treat what you don't acknowledge or what you don't make known. So when you're feeling like you're in a slump, or just depressed or no energy, maybe just tired and mentally drained, cloudy, don't know which way to go, everything's just seemed jumbled. I'm just not there. I'm just tapped out. You know what I mean? I'm just clocked out, as some people say. Say it. Say it. Get it out there so that you can then take some steps to come out. So just say it. Speak it out so that you can begin to do the work to come out of it. It's okay to say, my cup is empty, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, I have nothing to give. Because after you say it, you know, some kind of feeling of exhale will come in sometimes. Like you just, I got that out. I've been wanting to say that. So here's what you're going to do next. After you say it, allow yourself to embrace that moment so that the healing can start. You know, sometimes just crying it out. I'm serious. I read in a thing, I brought a little bit of this, and I'm going to share this with you. There was a Harvard study done during the time of the pandemic about the benefits of crying. And I'm just going to read a little bit about that. And it says in this March 1st, 2021, they wrote the article about in 2020 gave us more than enough to cry about. It said American women cried 3.5 times each month, while men only cried 1.9 times. And you know why I believe that's so? Because there's a stigma against men who cry, which it should not be. But what I want to bring into point, it says, the medical benefits of crying have been known as far back as the classical era. Thinkers and physicians of the ancient Greece and Rome posted that tears were like a purgatory, draining off and purifying us. Psychologists today emphasize the role of crying as a mechanism that allows you to release stress and emotional pain. So whether it be crying, whether it be just taking a big breath and just releasing it, taking a punching bag and working it out, not a person, I said a punching bag. Some way to exhale it can bring forth renewal and release so that you can begin to heal and come out and be full again. So you're going to acknowledge it and have that moment of release. And that will be different for each individual. Some people are criers, and some are screamers, where they just want to go in the room and, ah! And they say, that felt better. Whatever it might be. Let it out. It's okay. It's okay to say, I'm hurting. It's okay to say, I'm broken. It's okay to say, I don't know my next move. Because you're not alone. And when you get that out and you let that go, guess what happens? Renewal begins to come in. So in that renewal, you will begin to set the reset button and allow yourself time to rethink where you are. Bring yourself into a place of clarity and balance. And oftentimes that may be through mindful meditation. Some people, it's prayer. Some people just being in silence. Some people actually physical exercise, working out brings them clarity. Whatever it is. But you want to take that space and that moment. Put the pause button on and allow your mind to reset. And say, okay, I was dealt a blow or I wasn't feeling it. But now I'm going to reemerge and get my mojo back. Get my stuff back. And one of the things you can do is start to do something that make you feel good. I love when I dress up, y'all. It's just like an alter ego comes in, you know, and I just feel myself and I feel like I'm Superwoman. I got superpowers, and it does something when I put my makeup on and I'm in the mirror and I'm just feeling myself. I say, oh yeah, I can do this. I can do this. My confidence gets up, and I don't care how low I may have felt, but when I dress up, it's like, oh yes, I got this. I got this. That's what it does for me. What is it that you need? There's something inside of you when you reach that moment that you're feeling like your cup is empty. Activate that. Whatever that is. And that's going to allow you to bring up yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually so that you can go forward. But not only in these empowering points do you have to work on self. One thing that you want to do is get rid of toxic relationships. Because when you are in your cup being half empty or empty, you can't afford toxicity at that time. You don't need nobody's drama. You don't need nobody's stuff or nobody putting you through changes because you barely have enough energy to bring yourself out. So it's time to clear toxic situations, people, and environments, because you won't be able to grow and develop and get your strength to go forward in a toxic environment. Get rid of it. What's another thing? It's important to practice self-care. I say this all the time. And family, it took me years to get to this point where I was always, I can't say little, always attending to everybody else. Making sure this one was okay. Making sure that one was okay. Making sure the job was okay. Giving everything I got to everybody else. And I was running on empty. Not taking care of myself. Not taking care of my mental state. My physical health. And that's actually how Living Your Life Without Limits became birth. I had that aha moment. I said, wait a minute. You have to carve out time on a consistent basis to love on you. Do something that brings comfort and nourishment and joy to your mind, spirit, and your mental health, and your body for that matter. Make it a consistent habit to make you a priority on the calendar. It's okay to do for people. It's okay to encourage other people. It's okay to make sure everybody is whole. But it's not okay not to make you a priority. Because when you do that, you avoid yourself getting all the way down to nothing. Here's another one for you. Practicing gratitude. Being thankful for where you are. Appreciating what is going well instead of looking at what's not going right. You know, I work in healthcare, and every time I do direct patient care, when I step out of my coaching and mentoring and motivating, and I actually do direct patient care, and I go into the hospitals, and I see people laying up there that can't do for themselves. Basic things like eat, go to the bathroom, can't walk. Totally dependent on myself and others to meet their basic needs. I'm always saying, Lord, I thank you. Because war, it could be war. So we want to make sure we have an attitude of gratitude every day. Because guess what? There is somebody who is worse off than you and I. Despite the challenges and the deficits and things that may not be going well at that moment when your cup is empty, please believe there's somebody in a worse state. And it's something about when you practice gratitude and you're thankful for that moment, that time, that space, or thankful for how you are, even though it's not all what you want it to be. It puts things in perspective and it lifts your spirit. It really does. Sometimes I just say, Lord, I thank you. I can digest my own food. I can go to the bathroom by myself. Because guess what? Somebody has a tube to do that. Somebody got a pouch that they have to go to the bathroom in a stool right here. So practice having a grateful heart, knowing that better days are ahead. And the last empowerment point, and if nothing else, this is the most important. You got to have faith to know that everything is going to work out. Life is not a floral bed of ease. It's just like an EKG. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And it happens to everybody. But your outlook about it has to be, I'm going to be all right. Things are going to get better. See it. Have an image of yourself coming out. Have an image of your environment changing for the better. Speak it into existence. Without a vision, purposes are defeated. Outwardly confess that you are going to come out of whatever it is that you're in. Say it. Believe it. Walk it every day. And before you know it, you'll be out of it. Have you ever taken time to look back over your life at some challenges that you might have had at one time or another, and you look and say, I don't know how I came out of that, but I did. I do. I was a single parent at the age of 16 with my son, and I thought, what in the world am I going to do? And then 4 years later, I had another one, still a single parent. I said, nah, you really messed up. But something inside of me said, keep going. And I did. And I graduated at 22 with 2 kids, being a single parent. So as I'm ending this, what is your vision? You have one. See yourself. Even though your cup right now may be half full or empty, see it filled up. See yourself full of hope, of new beginnings, determination, energy, creativity, going forward with joy, knowing that things are going to work out for your good. So remember, as we're closing this off, it's okay when your cup is empty. But the difference is how you see it, allowing yourself to release it, having a heart of gratitude, getting rid of toxic relationships, and understanding that in the end, you're going to be okay. Thank you once again for tuning in, family. And if you enjoyed this topic today on these empowerment points, leave me a comment at the end. I want to hear from you, because my goal is to speak life into you, to keep encouraging you to go forward, to let you know your best days are ahead of you, and for you to ultimately live your life without limits. And as I often end, remember to love yourself. Guess what? Take care of yourself, because you are absolutely worth it. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.